The future of higher education means that we need to invest even greater. You know, we hear from the governor, you know, I've got health and human service needs, I've got prison needs, I've got these other needs. Higher education is the only investment that you can make where you actually can see a return.
I'm not sure if this year is a portent of climate change, but we are projecting that over the next 50 years or so, that the snowpack that fuels so much of California's water supply, which itself fuels so much of California's economy, is likely to change. And we're looking at possibly seeing more rain instead of snow. And what that means is that all the reservoirs that we have up and down the Sierra are really not going to be enough to serve the state.
This year in California, Governor Brown, who, full disclosure, I supported and gave money to, and every governor did it, Arnold did it too. This year in California, the governor is not reporting a $5 billion expenditure. Instead, he's reporting it as a $2 billion expenditure. The controller, down the block from the governor's office in Sacramento, will report that that cost is $5 billion on an accrual basis. He just reported it in March. Down the block from him, the governor in January reported in his budget that OPEB only cost $2 billion. And why? Because the state's only spending cash of $2 billion this year on OPEB. But for all of your businesses, you would have to accrue that cost. It got this way largely because state and local governments they used to borrow some money, but not as much as they do now. And they never used to enter into these long-term obligations for employee deferred compensation, which requires accrual basis accounting to properly reflect it. But that's how these pension problems largely arose. It's not because public employees are bad. They did nothing wrong. And they're vilified unfairly. And there are some who have spiked their pensions and get all the press, but you could get rid of every spiked pension in the state of California and you would not move the needle. This problem is caused by politicians, many of whom know accounting well enough to know better. Because if I could figure it out in 2005, they could figure it out. It's politicians making promises and not setting aside the money to meet those promises. It is simply that, and those people should go to jail.